Alright, welcome back to the design vlog. Today is day 15 and we thought we'd give making the map a little bit better a rest for today, and we focused on making some more customers for the shop. We introduced Chesney E. Wild, serial killer psychopath. We added Thaddeus Vladim, a LARPing maths nerd. We added Travis, the hobo Santa Claus, and under that we added the psychic twins and their mother Karen, who is a typical Karen, I suppose, if you're into the modern culture. Just wants to talk to the manager and return goods which weren't even sold in this shop in the first place, so we'll look forward to that. And we added a picture for the protesters as well over here, just in case they want to use the protesters for anything in particular. So that rounds up the customers. I thought about 10 would be probably the best number. We struggled with, well, we didn't struggle. We had fun with just 5 of them in the store, and that was a lot for what was 6 players. So that went down pretty well. So if you added 5 more, this is quite a lot to handle on top of the possums and the protesters and the 5 baddies. You've got the 3 Magidol types. You've got the meat demon, you've got the steak demon thing, and you have the 6 PCs as well. So that's 26 like characters on the map possible, and you have multiples of the Magidols and the steak meats as well, the meat demon as well. So that's a huge amount of things to keep track of. So I think 10's fine for the amount of the amount of customers that are going to come into the shop. So that's them there. So we spent the morning doing these, and then we had a look at their stats. And here you can see that we added some more stats for these characters. We had a local lore added to them. So here we have the LARPer, Dougal Crump. He's a math major, and he's also a 13th gen vampire. You know, it's played Vampire the Masquerade, will know what that is. And he comes with fake teeth and a sword cane, and he pretends that random staff in the store are his nemesis, and his sort of challenge is to grab a Maggie doll and can like take it back to his master, the true daughter of his of his clan. So that should be a bit of fun for people as he LARPs around the store, and he can give you some lore on the actual sort of old orphanage as well, as they would use this place as a sort of place for their LARPing all the time. And then you've got Chesney the serial killer. He's the same. He used to actually be one of the children in the orphanage, and he's sort of like returning. It's like all about these NPCs returning back to the sort of old sort of haunts, and giving a little bit of local lore, and really getting involved with the actual back plot to the game, giving out these little hints every so often as the veins of evil sort of try to worm their way back into things and manipulate and change them for the worse. Then you get Travis the Bum, who is basically just there to pick out the sort of select goods and make sure he knows what he's to look for out back in the bins when he's sort of looking for food, and he's there to just touch and make a mess of things. And he used to basically have rumours about people going missing on the streets and that sort of thing. You've got Karen, and you've got the Sally and Sally and Sue, the albino twins, and they can actually hear the dolls, so they can like talk to the dolls basically, and give them a bit of the lore about the dolls and what they want to do. And we were going to add the old housekeeper, but that'd been another one. And I think she's a little bit too on the nose maybe. So this one gets scrapped. We didn't really add this, but this was going to be Mrs. Campbell, the old matron from the house, going back and thinking she had Alzheimer's and trying to like drain blood from the sort of the children in the store, chasing them around and trying to feed the house. Maybe I'll add her at a later date, but just now I think 5 more are easily enough. Decent number. So that is all we have for today, and I think we're up to about 5,000 words, so I've got another 1,000 to do. I think we're going to have a look at doing more to the supermarket tomorrow, so I shall see you then. Alright, today is day 17, it's a progress report for day 16 and 17. We've basically been using today and yesterday to do the map and just going at it non-stop for a good 8 hours a day. It takes a long time to do these things, and I tend to over detail the map even though I want to make these things faster. Sometimes they take a bit longer. So we've filled in a few more details here, the snow, the bins, we've made some little baggies for the sort of counters, all these sort of things. We've sort of marked out the transformer. We've got a proper produce aisle now. We have all the shelves stacked. We have changed the layout slightly, so basically now, as you can see here, you can play through the map and get the bakery and the sort of deli up the back here, so they play from the door coming straight through. And we've also added sort of a small fishmonger down here with a few things as well. I think it looks a lot better now. We did stop ourselves going overboard. We could add shadows, we could add lighting, we could add cars as well in the car park, which I sorely wanted to do, but I think we spent enough time on this to say this is done and move on. When you're doing things like this, you're never really done. It's just when you get to a point where you think, well, I could do more, but I don't think it would add much value to it. So this is what we have, this is what we get. All these are great assets for future homes and houses, for adding things to the kitchen and the sort of pantries and that sort of thing. So you could say that all this is just asset creation, and we spent all the time doing that. So 16 hours later, the map is pretty much done, and we're pretty happy with that. So this is the basic map as well that we did, just showing the layout. We've got groceries, beverage and snacks, bulk foods, toiletries and home goods, alcohol, books and magazines, health and beauty down the bottom, fishmongers, deli, bakery, frozen goods and all that sort of good jazz. So it's quite clear this will be in the actual PDF for reference, and this one's obviously to play on as well. So that's pretty much how I usually do it. It's not quite as elaborate as the last year's or the year before, because it's just one map with no layers. It's just one level. So yeah, quite happy with it. Hopefully that will go down well. I know supermarkets are not hugely exciting, but I just want to kind of get this out of my head, and for future, this is a location that can be used many times over, because if I'm going to be building up Twin Lakes Chronicles as a sort of a setting or a sort of place to host my own RPG system, then this map can be revisited, and you can actually use this to tell your own stories. So it's like a local location which everyone can go to. So I might provide a map that's not got the sort of Christmas decorations on it as well, so it could be used in other seasons as well. So apart from that, I think we did pretty well these last 2 days, getting this all finished out, and I shall see you again on day 18. Alright, today is day 18, and we spent most of the day doing updates to the actual PDF, trying to hit our word limit of 6,000 words. We have scoured over most of what we've had before, just updating, changing a few words here and there, expanding where need to be expanded, and we focused mainly on the supermarkets descriptions, going through what we did with the map and changing the details to match the map. We also added a few extra finds and horrors. This is how we break down our descriptions for these sort of games. I basically give you a description with a number that matches the basic map. We have finds, which will be things they can actually just see or find in the actual location. And we have horrors, certain sort of discoveries which will affect their survival points when it becomes apparent of this is what it's actually doing. So they sort of reduce sort of San, what would be the Call of Cthulhu equivalent, would just be survival points. Survival points are equivalent of health and sanity in one, and you can recover it or spend it in certain ways as well. So yeah, we just went through the entirety of the map, going through each section and adding some finds and fears as well. And that's pretty much all we did. It's fairly elaborate, sort of deep dive into just making sure everything works and getting everything correct. And we hit our limit of 1 word off 6,000. So what happens now is we're going to take this and we're going to give it to my partner, who is going to be my editor for this. She edits all my work because I am a, well, dyslexic idiot at times, and I don't know what I'm doing or saying. Things like scared, scarred, and sacred are 3 words I can never spell properly. Things like that, missing words, jumbled letters and words, and basic spelling and grammar, not the best for me, so it goes off to her. She goes through it, brings it back to me, and then I go through, do all the changes, and then it goes into InDesign, where we're going to head to next after all the edits are done, and go into layout. So another quite short one. We're coming to the end of this now. We're starting to sort of see the pace pick up and the workload starting to ease. So by any luck, next 2 days will probably just be InDesign, final last checks, and off we go to the races. And with that, I'll see you again on day 19. Alright, it's day 19, and we've had our edits back from my partner, and covered in red marking as usual, and we've changed all them and made the corrections and punched in the data and made it look a little better. And we've taken that and thrown it into InDesign, which is this program here. So this is what the PDF now looks like, with everything looking a bit fancier, with a little bit sort of headers and broken up into sort of well, bite-sized chunks, so you can actually read it properly. It's a little bit easier on the eye, easier to reference on the fly. We have our map for reference here, and below it we've got the sort of descriptions of all the areas. This one here is quite easy for that. There's not a lot in the actual supermarket itself. If you look at the one we did previously, this is final cut from the year before. It's got a lot on the island. Sort of this whole island here was the map, and we have to go into the wooded areas, the structures inside. There's a temple on it, and even got inside that the actual beast itself, the big bad at the end. If you can go inside it. So clean up on L9 is a little bit more focused on the actual characters, the sort of customers of interest I've ended up calling them. So we've got all these guys here for their sort of useful sort of reference over here. And yeah, hopefully that'll serve nicely, and it's a nice simple little scenario for everyone to have a look at. Nothing too outrageous. It's not going to win BAFTAs, but it is done and dusted, and this is pretty much what we're going to get. So from here, all we need to do now is upload it to DriveThruRPG, get it verified, and then it'll be on sale. So it should be on sale by the time you see this video, and there should be a link in the description below. You can grab it for free if you wish to. Just click that link, and remember to leave some feedback if you like it, or if you don't. It's all good. Bad feedback's always as good as the good feedback, because you learn from it. And with that, thanks for watching these videos. Hope you found them interesting, and there will be more to come in the near future. I'll see you again next time.